Hello everybody, welcome back. Before we start, I want to let you know that I don't make anything on my videos from YouTube. So, if you do like my content, please consider supporting me via Patreon. I have lots more new stories and videos on the way, some of which will only be available to those who support me there. My Patreon link is below this video in the description. You can also send a super thanks if you like the story and want to support me to make more stories like this. The super thanks button is below this video. Also, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And hit the bell icon if you would like to get updates on my new videos, and leave a comment or ask me a question, and I promise to reply as soon as I can. Thank you, and now back to the video. Today's story is about me. Yes, me, Rachel Dalmore. I want to share some stories about myself with you, and the things I get up to when I am dressed up and at my girliest. Anyway, back to today's story, which is called The Girl I Was Always Meant to Be. I hope you like it. Ever since I can remember, I wanted to be a girl. I can still recall looking at the girls at school and wanting to dress like them. I loved the idea of going to class and wearing a schoolgirl uniform. The skirts, the pantyhose, the blouse. All the beautiful things they all got to wear. The girls could grow their hair long and be pretty. I just wanted to be like them so much. It was a difficult time for me, but also an exciting one. I remember the first time I wore a pair of panties. It felt so good. I loved the way they looked and fit me. They felt soft and made me feel more feminine when I wore them. From then on I was hooked. I have never stopped wearing women's clothing. I would start to dress up whenever I was alone in my parents' house. I never told anyone, and I always kept it a secret. I was so worried that if I was found out, I would be in trouble or people would not understand the way I felt. So I dressed up in secret all through my school years. I was lucky, my mother had kept some of her old clothing that she no longer wore from before she had children. At first, when I started to wear the clothing, it was too big for me. But I didn't mind. It felt so good to wear a dress, to wear a bra, to pull on some panties, and walk in high-heel shoes. As I got older, I would admire the girls in my high school, and wish I could be more like them. Boys and girls had become very different now. Our bodies were changing, and what were slight visual differences when we were younger were very obviously different now. The girls had only got more beautiful. Their skin was still soft and smooth. They were starting to wear makeup to enhance their already feminine features. The clothing that they wore had only become more revealing, more grown up, and they had become more desirable to the boys. The girls at my school would wear their school skirts higher up to show their legs. They would open the top button on their blouse to show more of their chest. I would go home from school and try to dress up like them. But the clothes that my mother had kept were starting to get too small for me. I could no longer fit in the dress I used to love to wear. The bra and the panties were also too small for me now. And the high heels I used to walk in no longer fit my feet. As I got older, I learned to become numb to my feelings to hide away my desires to be the same as the girls. My body changed, and it only brought pain and sadness to dream, to imagine myself as a girl. I went through many years trying to convince myself that it was just a phase, that it was impossible for me to be a girl. I would look in the mirror, and I would be unable to see the girl inside of me. Many times I would cry, and many times I would wish I had not been born male. I only accepted the way I looked in the mirror, because I could not live with the pain of not being who I felt I should be. As I got older, I started to see other people like myself on TV, and then online. I started to learn that it wasn't impossible for me to be a girl. I didn't have to keep lying to myself and carrying on, living in denial. At first, I started to learn that there were places I could go, dressed as myself, and I could meet other people who felt the same way that I did. I learned about hormones such as estrogen and how they could change your body to match the way you felt inside. And I found that there were online groups where people shared their experiences and transitions from male to female. I started to buy women's clothing online, makeup, and shoes. I would still dress in secret, but I would be able to spend more time as myself. Eventually, I built up the confidence to go out in public. At first, it was very scary, and many people would look at me as I walked down the street. But I only got more confident the more times I did it. I would enjoy going on nights out dressed as a girl. I also planned trips to go to events for crossdressers, transsexuals, and transgender women. I had so much fun meeting new people and opening myself up to my true feelings and desires. But even though I was happy and enjoying the time I got to dress as a girl, something was missing. I had never wanted to be a girl part-time. I had always only wanted to be a girl. Then one day I decided I would no longer live as a boy, and I would transition from male to female. I started to dress full-time, wear makeup every day, and I grew out my hair. I would go out in public more and more often, and I got used to living as a woman. I started to take hormones, and over time my body started to change. I was presenting more feminine than I had ever done before, and I was becoming more accustomed to living the way I wanted to live. Now I live full-time as a woman, and I have never felt more happier and content in my life. I still look back on the time before, when I was at school, when I was growing up. But I don't regret anything. It's been a long journey, but now I am finally me. And I am the girl I was always meant to be. Thank you for listening to my story. If you like my content, please consider supporting me via my Patreon. The link is below this video in the description. Also, if you like my stories, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And hit the bell icon if you would like to get updates on my new videos, and leave a comment or ask me a question, and I promise to reply as soon as I can. Thank you, and until next time, goodbye.